you guys so much for tuning back into my channel today. We are back with another story time slash get ready with me video. It's been a little minute since I've done this, but I know you guys love it, so I'm back with another one. This one is talking about how someone scammed my dumb ass and I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. So get prepared. You guys will see a little snippet of how I did my makeup today, along with my new little hairstyle. I'm loving the perm, still loving the perm. Every time you guys see me, I'm still loving the perm. Not over it yet, but I am going to get right into the video. Not too much talking today. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. What's up, what's up? Yes, I am back with another story time. I haven't done one in a little minute, but you guys seem to love my story times, and boy, do I have a story for you. Don't mind my hair because I am currently slicking it down. I got a little two ponytail look going on today. I did the slick down, and I'm gonna have my friend Krista do some long braids for me because I cannot attach braids to my hair to save my life. I tried it one time and I went to a WizKid concert looking dumb. That thing was falling out, my hair was poking out, it was a mess, okay? So I asked her to do it, and she says she barely knows how to do it either, but I've seen her do it and she need to stop lying. So hopefully it comes out cute. But today's story time slash get ready with me is going to be about me getting scammed. And it's like, I don't know, it's like I'm attracting scammers these days. Like, people just are so eager to scam me, and I don't know what it is, if I'm putting out scam energy into this universe, but very ghetto, very ghetto. I do not recommend. 0 out of 10. Highly do not recommend. So sit back, relax, get some wine or whatever you want, and just watch me. I'm not doing a serious look. I'm probably doing the same look y'all see me do every single time because that's all I really know how to do. But it's not about the look, it's about the story, okay? The look is just a distraction, something to keep you guys entertained. Before I get into me actually getting scammed, the actual story of me getting scammed, I'm just gonna give you guys a little short backstory so y'all can understand how this led up to the situation. And so pretty much, if you guys don't know, I lived in Valdosta, Georgia, in the country for, I would say, maybe 4 or 5 years. I moved out there after 2017 or 2019. I think it was 2017 because Kyra was 1 and she was born in 2016. So I think it was 2017. I don't know. I lived in Valdosta, Georgia, and so I bought a house out there, moved out there, and I was just living there for a while, right? And so after a while, I moved back to Florida, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to remember to do my makeup because I always forget that this is a story time slash get ready with me, not just a story time. But I've already moisturized my face with Ciara's new line, which I am absolutely loving. I don't know if you guys know her On a Mission brand. She has like the face wash, which is in my shower. These are brightening pads, which I love. This is brightening serum, which kind of like, I don't know what they do, but my skin has been loving it. This is an eye revitalizer, which I feel like I honestly have been loving the most because it helps with my bags. I always have like really bad bags underneath my eyes. And then the moisturizer, keeps your skin feeling so luscious. So I've been loving that brand. If you guys have not tried it out, I would it's worth trying. I never used to focus on my skin at all, like as far as face washing goes. I always just use like that peppermint soap, Dr. Bronner's, and it is whatever, but I'm starting to try and give my skin the nourishment that it needs, and I think it's actually loving it. So let's get to the makeup. Oh, hold on, let me go get my brushes. All right, I just washed all my beauty blenders because it's a proven fact that your makeup actually comes out better when your brushes are clean. So they are super clean. They're kind of moist because I just washed them today, but it's okay because I always damp my beauty blenders anyway. So I'm gonna start off with some foundation. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna start off with shaping my eyebrows because I haven't gotten my eyebrows waxed in a minute since they're microbladed, but I usually just try to pluck the major ones that are in the way, and then I conceal the bottom of my eyelid so you can't really see it. Back to the story. I have been living in Valdosta for a while. I moved back to Florida to be closer to my family. So my house that's in Georgia has been vacant for over a year now because it is not in rentable condition, and I haven't been able to get it in that rentable position for over a year now. So it's just been empty. And you know, if you have a mortgage, you gotta pay that mortgage or else you lose your home. It goes into foreclosure, all that good stuff. So I have been living here in my condo that you guys probably knew about from the last few story times. If you haven't seen those story times, you definitely gotta watch them because a lot of people were very entertained, and that was a very crazy part of my life that I have been open to sharing with you guys. So go watch that. I've been very real and vulnerable with you guys, and I'm going to continue for as long as I am making these story times with you. Okay, so I had been paying rent at my condo for the entire year plus, and also paying my mortgage in Valdosta, which has been like ghetto because no one's even living there. It's vacant. I'm like, this is money I could be making, but I'm just throwing money out there. It's not like I'm losing it because it's going into something that I own, but still, like, who want to be throwing money out there and you're not even benefiting really? I mean, you are, but y'all know what I mean. So I've been paying mortgage for the longest, and I had just gotten to a point where I'm just like, I can't keep wasting money like this. I have to turn this home that I own into an income producing opportunity. I had been asking my family to go up to Valdosta with me for the longest so we can do everything ourselves, so I can save money, because I'm just all about saving money. I love saving coins when I can. So I've been asking everyone in my family group chat if they can come up with me to like paint the house, do any repairs that need to be done, patch up any holes, just like basic things, right? And I also have a shed in my backyard that burnt down, which is another story for another day. And so that's something that I've been dealing with as well, which I've been trying to get taken care of. And so it's just so many things from so many different angles in regards to this house that's in Valdosta that no one's living in, that has been vacant for all this time and is just collecting dust. So I recently hired somebody off of Angie's List to go and pretty much clean the house, because when a house is vacant for over a year, it gets pretty nasty. And on top of that, there was a situation, which is also another story for another day, where there was dog shit all over my house. Literally all over the living room, all over the kitchen, all over the dining room. There was just dog shit everywhere. And so I had to hire a cleaner to come clean the entire house, get rid of all toys and stuff. There was a spider infestation in the house, so they had to like bomb the cabinets. There were like baby spiders that had just been hatched. And I said, I am not doing this mess by myself. You did? No, hell no. So I went on Angie's List because that's the first thing I could think of, and I hired someone to come clean my home. So this lady comes out, right? And I already knew the house was a mess, so I figured that the price that they gave me for a regular cleaning is not what they were gonna charge me, because the house is overly disgusting. So the lady comes to my house, she calls me, and I give her the code to get in the house because it's like a little keypad. And so she gets in and she's like, whoa. It caught her by surprise, because on Angie's List, I don't even know if you can tell them in advance the conditions of the house or any specifics. It's just you book the person for the service, they come out, they do the service, and they leave, and you pay it through the app or whatever, and that's that. Okay, the job is done. So she gets there and she's like, this is gonna take way more than the 4 hours that Angie's List pays us for. Like, there's a lot that needs to be cleaned in this house. It's not gonna happen all in one day. She's gonna have to come back tomorrow. And if I wanna do it through Angie's List, they're going to charge me an arm and a leg. So I might as well do it through her. She'll charge me half the price to come back the next day and finish the job, right? So I'm like, okay, I know, you know, these types of apps charge extra fees on top of fees on top of fees. So I'm like, all right, I already got this lady in the house. She knows what's going on already. Let's have her come back the next day and finish the job, right? And so while we're on the phone, she's walking around the house. I'm telling her everything that I want her to do. And she's asking me questions about like what I want done, what I want to do with this property, or why it's been vacant or for so long. And I'm like telling her the story. And she's like, well, I can probably well, she said that she's actually looking for a place. I told her that I wanted to clean it up, make it nice, rent it out, and I'm just getting that process started right now. And so she tells me that she has actually been looking for somewhere to stay, and this would probably be perfect for her and her family, and that she actually knows contractors who can fix everything that needs to be done in the house, right? So I'm like, wow, look at God. God has sent me someone, just from, you know, a cleaning service to making connections to contractors. And so this is perfect. She's already in the house. She sees everything that's broken. She sees everything that needs to be fixed. So I'm like, oh yes, perfect opportunity to just get this done. And I had had contractors come to the house prior, and they had given me quotes, and their quotes were like $30,000, $20,000 to get the house back into rentable conditions. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So that's why it's been sitting for so long. So now this lady come along, and I'm like, all right, go ahead, give me a quote. She finishes the whole job in like 2 days, cleans the house, gets rid of all the spiders, which I was like, thank you, Jesus. This lady has been sent from heaven. Thank you, Lord, right? So she gets back to me probably the next day with a quote of how much it would cost to fix up the entire house, patch up all the holes, paint the house, paint all the rooms over, and also get rid of the entire shed. And it's a big shed. Like, I was thinking about turning the shed into like a 2-bedroom so that I can rent it out in the back of the house. Like, it was huge, and the shit burned down. So she gave me a quote for how much it would charge to do all that, plus take the shed, break it all down, take all the debris, which is obviously a nice little task. So the quote she gave me was $7,900 and some change, and I'm looking like this, like, oh, the last people were telling me 30,000, 20,000. This lady comes in at 7,000, so I'm like, wow, that is still a lot of money, but in comparison to everything else that everyone else was offering, that's not really bad. So I'm like, okay, all right. I tell her I'll think about it. And my first red flag was that she didn't give me a contract. So I was like, can you write me up a contract? And like, I had to ask for the contract. That should have been the red flag #1, right? And so, oh, I messed up my eyebrow. And so when she didn't give me that contract, I should have known from there that this was going to be a complete joke. She gets back to me probably the next day with the contract. She takes pictures of everything that needs to be fixed, and then she gives me a breakdown. So I negotiated the price down from like $7,900 to $7,000 flat. She said that's the lowest she could go, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. She tells me that I have to pay for the supplies and 1/3 of the labor up front so that she could go ahead and get started. I'm being upfront with you guys. All of the money that I had in my account and savings were all reserves because I am not working right now. I am pretty much doing house flipping, which house flipping takes months. Like, you have to get the house under contract, you have to put money down to get a house under contract, and then rehab it, put money to like fix everything up in the house, and then turn around and sell the house. So during that whole time, all you're doing is dishing money out. You're not having any income coming in. And so if that's your full-time job, during that time, you have no money coming in, okay? So I didn't want to touch my reserves that were set aside for the next couple of months to hold me down until the next flip, until we actually sell the next house. So I went and I took out a loan on one of my credit cards to pay this lady so that I wouldn't have to touch my own money, right? My dumb ass. Let me get back to the makeup. All I did was my brows so far. So yeah, I went and took out a loan on my credit card because they had been offering it to me for a little minute, and I didn't know that these types of loans affect your credit because they said like no credit pull required, you're already automatically approved. So I didn't know that by taking out this loan, it would reflect such a high balance on my credit card. So once I did that, my credit took another hit. And y'all know I had just been working on building my credit back up, and it got back up, and this dumbass loan made me take another hit. So that's that with that. Whew. So now that I've taken out this loan, I paid the lady the deposit in addition to, you know, the money for the supplies. First of all, this lady said that I had to pay her through Cash App. Red flag. I'm like, all right, no problem, it's fine. I sent her the money through Cash App. Now she got the money and she's like, all right, I'm gonna go and get the supplies tomorrow and we're gonna get started with this. Everything should be done by September 1st, which was like a month out from the date that I signed the contract with her, because I told her that I would need to have tenants moved in by the, I said by the 1st, but I really had it listed for the 15th to be available to rent. So I posted my property on Zillow. I'm getting all these leads, people interested, and Zillow like does all the screening for you. So if you guys ever want to list a property somewhere, I definitely recommend Zillow, because they do credit checks, they do background checks, they do screening, they do income verification, all that for you. It's like literally gold. And they even have a portal so that when your tenants are already moved in, they can pay directly through the portal and you get the money directly through Zillow. So Zillow is a bomb site to list your properties, I feel. And so I have my property listed on Zillow while she's working on it, okay? A few days go by after I make the payment and I hadn't heard from her. So I start texting her, no response. I call her, no response. And so now I'm getting worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, this lady ran off with my money. Oh my God, like I'm freaking out. A few days in, I started getting impatient. So I'm like sending her text messages like, if I don't hear back from you, I am going to the court and I'm gonna sue you because you just stole my money. You didn't do a single thing, you didn't buy any supplies. At this point, you're a thief. So she finally reaches back out to me. She called me with this sob story saying that she recently had a death in her family. She had to fly out to Kentucky or something, and she had her sister back in Valdosta working on the house for me. So I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, death in the family. Send me pictures of what your sister has done so far. So she's like, all right, I'll reach out to my sister and get those pictures over to you right away. A few days go by, no pictures. I'm hitting up this lady for pictures, hitting up this lady for pictures, no pictures. And so I start getting very annoyed at this point. I'm like, this house needs to be rented by the 15th. I see no progress getting done. And so I call her, she answers, and I start like, I'm not nice anymore. I'm still respectful, always respectful. But at this point, she hears in my voice that I'm not playing with her. Like, you told me this would be done by the 1st. It's already like 10 days in. I have no progress. I see nothing being done. I need you guys to get on it. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna head over there tomorrow and I'll send you pictures right away. I promised you that I'm gonna get this job done by the 1st, and that's what, you know, I'm a woman of my word. She just started throwing out all types of bullshit at me. So she gets back to me with these pictures the next day, right? And yo, these were the most bullshit ass pictures I have ever seen a contractor send somebody in regards to the work that they have done on a property. When I tell you the lady ain't do nothing, you know what she did? She picked up the trash from the backyard, not even like the shed. A trash can, a 13-gallon trash can that I had in the backyard. She took that trash can out the yard so it looked like there was no trash, and then she swept my walkway to the front door so that the leaves were out the way, and she thought that was supposed to entice me. So I said, where are the photos of what has been done? And she's like, well, you know, there was a lot of she has a country accent. She's like, you know, well, there was a lot of the driveway. You couldn't even see the walkway before. We had to clear it out to even be able to walk into the front door. And I'm like, bitch, sorry, God. Sorry, I don't like calling people bitches, but where the fuck, I wanted to do this to her. Where the fuck is the work that you said you were gonna do, right? So this lady comes back and she's like, well, the people that I had working with me, they flaked out, and now I gotta do everything myself, and I'm really, really trying, but I need to get some more supply. No, I don't even remember the story because it's all jumbled up in my mind. That's how angry just even talking about this story makes me. I need a shot. So yeah, she comes back with me with these bullshit ass pictures, and I'm like, no, it's not gonna cut it. Come back better. Come back better. Go do some work and then come back with some better pictures. And she's like, yes, ma'am. They love saying yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like they doing some real shit. I'm sorry for all the cursing in this video, but I have a lot of anger built up in regards to this situation. So she buys all the paint, right? And she paints the whole house. And a few days later, she gets back to me with some pictures. This lady, no, ain't no way. Ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way she thought that was a good job. Ain't no way, ain't no way. She's like, yeah, I have a paint gun, so I should be done by tomorrow. That should be real quick. First of all, the paint job looked like she sprayed like one little sloppy coat on every single wall in the house and said, all right, that's it. Like it wasn't even a flat, clean finish. She did not tape up like the floor. She didn't cover the floor. She didn't like prep the walls. You know how you gotta prep the walls so the paint don't go on the corners. She didn't do none of that. The paint was sloppy. It was light. I was like, this needs like 3 extra coats because this ain't cutting it. There was paint all over the floors. What else? All the doors in the house were not painted to match the walls, or not even match, but just painted in general. They were not painted, so all of the doors look dirty in comparison to the paint job. And I'm like, why are none of the doors painted? This was like a few days after. I'm like, why are none of the doors painted? This looks ugly. It does not look good at all. And then on top of that, my daughter's room, I had asked her not to paint over my daughter's room because I know this was dumb. Like, obviously they gotta paint the room in order to rent it out, but that's not what I asked you. I asked her not to paint my daughter's room because I had spent hours and hours and hours painting this room. It was like so sentimental. My daughter was like, can you please keep my room the same? And my dumb ass is like, yeah, baby, like she missed her room, she missed her toys. She's like, can you just keep it the same so when the people move out it could still be the same? Because she loved that room so much. And so I said, that one room, just don't paint it until I let you know. She comes back to me and she's like, yeah, we had to paint the room. I'm like, bitch, what? Who do you think you are telling me you had to paint the room? You had to paint the room that I paid you not to paint. So when she sent me those pictures of the complete job, I was like, nah, this not gonna cut it. You need to repaint those again because it's not complete. It looks very childish. You need to paint the doors. She's like, well, I'm gonna need some more supplies because the paint is done. We have no more paint. You're gonna have to send some more cash. I think at that point I was like, you know what, if the paint ran out, I can't like not pay her. Like I was just thinking dumb. I'm like, I can't not send her money because it's still going towards the money that she is charging me in total, because I haven't paid her the full $7,000 yet. So it's like I'm just paying her in chunks, but the money is going towards the supplies. Like I told her I'm not paying her more than $7,000 for the job. If she wasted the paint on her own dumbass shit, then that's her problem. She wasted the paint. If I send her more money, it's coming out of her cut or whatever cut she has to pay to anybody else. So I sent her like an extra, maybe like $1,500 or $2,000. I don't even think it was that much. Maybe like $1,500. I think I sent her like $1,500 more, and I could be messing up these numbers. She buys the paint and she comes back over. She does like some sloppy work on my doors. She paints all the doors very sloppily. She's like, I didn't know the doors were included. That's why she said she needed more paint. She said she didn't know the doors were included. Don't quote me on the numbers. I know $1,500 does not amount to painting a few doors. So she's like, I need to paint the doors. I didn't know that was included. And so she comes back and she sends me pictures of the paint job of the doors the next day. She didn't even prep the handles of the doors. She painted over the handles and thought that was a good job. She sent that to me thinking that I'm going to post this on Zillow for somebody to come see this trash work and say, yeah, let me rent this out. Let me rent this out. And I'm overcharging for the rent because I'm thinking that, you know, the house is gonna be up to par. It's gonna be worth the extra that they're paying. And I got a lot of people interested because I posted pictures of the house, how it looked like when I first moved in, because that's how I expected her to bring it back to. And there were plenty of people willing to pay that price, but they are not willing to pay that price for no sloppy ass job like this. I was like, oh no, 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 no. Now she pissing me off. Now she pissing me off. Now she pissing me off. Long story, oh my gosh, I haven't even done my makeup. Oh Hold on, guys. Let me do my face because I'm not getting anything done. I'm just so pissed off about this story. So let me do underneath my eyes. Actually, you know what? I'll be right back. Okay, so long story short, you guys, we get to a point where this lady is asking for more money, and I can't remember what the reason was that she was asking for more money, but I had gotten so fed up. Oh, I guess she hired a company to remove the back shed, which was the only smart thing that she did. And she sent me some bill saying that the guys are here removing the shed. This is how much they're charging. And I was just like, ma'am, I am not sending you another freaking dime until, no, actually my dumb ass did send another freaking dime. Did I? Oh, no, I did not. She was like, oh, the people are here working. It's this much extra to pay them. And I'm like, I don't know what you talking about, but everything you talking about was already included in the quote. So I'm not sending you a dime over what I told you I was gonna pay you. And she's like, yeah, well, these people came here and I already paid for the supplies with the money that you sent. Like, I'm barely getting any money out of this at this point because I'm just losing money paying for supplies and having to pay these people. I'm getting only a small percentage of it. And I'm like, I don't give a damn what you're getting. Like, you gave me a quote, you figure it out. Whatever quote you gave me, you handle that with the people that you hired. Ain't nobody tell you to miscalculate your stuff. I'm not sending you a dime over what's on the contract. I told her that. And then I told her that I'm not sending her any money until I see the work that's been done on the house in person, because those pictures that she was sending me look real retarded. The picture she sent me looked so retarded, so childish. I was like, I don't feel comfortable sending you any more money, honestly. Because first of all, the first is today. And you told me this job would be done by the 1st. And it's still looking childish. So I made plans with my dad to come up there that weekend so we can go see the house in person before I pay her any money. Okay? And I told my dad, like, it's looking real stupid. I don't know if we're gonna have to do some work on it, so please come and bring whatever tools, supplies you have, just in case something goes wrong. And plus I had stuff in storage up there, so I had to like rent U-Haul and all that stuff to get all of my stuff out of storage to finally bring it down, because I had obviously been paying extra money every month for over a year to have my stuff stored. It's just been the dumbest year of my life. The dumbest year of my life, okay? Had to have been the dumbest year of my life. I had my dad, my cousin, and my brother come up there with me because I already knew that something was gonna go left. We get up there and you guys, let me tell you, the house looked way worse than it did in those pictures that she sent me. Everything was amateur. There were cigarette butts all over my house and empty Coke bottles everywhere. There was a mattress in my living room, as if her and her crackhead friends were living in my living room the entire time that I was gone. And since she knew that I was coming up that weekend, her and her crackhead friends, I'm sorry, I should not say that. Her and her friends evacuated just in time for me not to catch them in my house. But the house smelled like cigarettes, which is a smell that I absolutely hate. My toilets were dirty as hell. And mind you, this is the same lady that I hired to clean my house from Angie's List. So my toilets should have been spotless. My toilet should have been clean enough to lick the freaking seats. That shit was dirty, black, disgusting. But it was disgusting. The house was a complete disaster. And you guys, the craziest part, I had asked them to patch up the holes in the wall, right? Because there were some holes in my walls, several walls in the house. Y'all wouldn't believe how she patched up the holes. You know how you're supposed to buy that stuff and like, it's like putty, it's like some white clay looking stuff that you put to patch up the holes. Like you put it in the hole, you smooth it out, you paint over it, maybe sand it, I don't know. This lady took duct tape. She took duct tape, taped the holes, taped over all the holes in the wall. And she painted over the tape. I asked her before she started this job if she knows how to patch up holes. And she said yes. And I took her word. This lady duct taped my walls and painted over the duct tape like I'm some kind of big dummy. I felt so disrespected. Y'all ever seen that movie ATL?
Here you go. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
That was so disrespectful. I know that ain't who I think it is. If you know, you know. If you don't, sorry. But I felt so disrespected. I'm like, this lady is playing with my intelligence. If I get a hold of her, I might pray for her. So, by the time I get to Valdosta, right, I texted her because I don't want her to really know that I'm there right then and there, but I texted her asking her, where can I send the remaining balance? This is after I've seen all of the bullshit that she's done to my house. I didn't want her to know that I was upset because I wanted to see her face to face just in case I had to. Let me stop. I wanted to see her face to face just so I could see how stupid she looked telling me that this is what I paid her $7,000 for. Just so I could see. But she did not respond to any of my text messages from there. After I sent her that little bit of change, I think I sent her like half the remainder before coming up to see it. So she was down my neck telling me that she has to pay these people that removed the shed. And so I was like, I'm not sending you money until I meet you. And then I caved in because she like kept going in saying that she promised them she was gonna pay them by today, yada yada yada. So I was like, the most I could send you is half of the remainder, which my mom told me not to send her half. My mom told me to send her 500 and that's it, you know. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. I feel guilty. Like, this is my face. I don't like dirty in my face. So I sent her half, which was like 1,100. I think it was like 2,200 remaining. So I sent her 1,100, and the other 1,100 I was gonna pay her when I saw her in person, had the job been completed as promised. Clearly the job was not completed as promised. And so once I got there, I sent her, my dad told me to send her a text about the money so that maybe she'll show up. We could see her in person, either take care of her, whatever. She never responded. She never responded to any of the messages that I sent while I was up there. I don't know if maybe she was watching us pull up to the house. Like, she could have been in the cut somewhere watching us to see who we were. Like, the whole thing was just a ghetto mess. So basically she disappeared on us and I pretty much lost out. So long story short, I got scammed by what seems to be trailer trash. I got scammed by this lady, and I feel like I should tell y'all her name just in case anyone else is in Valdosta that, you know, I don't know, I just want to protect y'all from experiencing the same thing that I experienced. And so her name is, and I don't care, I'm sharing her name because she needs to be exposed. I've never exposed anybody in my life, but I'm exposing this girl. I was gonna say something else. This lady. If you ever encounter this lady, do not pay her a dime. Her name is Annie or Anna Wagers. She is a con artist. She goes by many different names because I had somebody look her up. I had somebody investigate for me. And it turns out that this lady operates under a million different names, but her name is Anna or Annie Wagers. She sent me an ID which looks like a fake ID, and I thought it was real, so that's why I trusted her enough to send her all the money that I did send her so far. But I would just like to spare anyone in Valdosta the horror that I endured, because on top of that $7,000, almost $7,000 that I paid her, I had to then turn around with my dad, brother, and little cousin and start everything from scratch. Everything that I asked her to do, aside from the shed, because the shed was the only thing that was removed and done right. Everything else that I asked her to do was not done, so I had to start over and do everything myself. I had to buy paint, I had to buy vanities, I had to replace the vanities myself, I had to buy supplies, I had to buy drywall, I had to buy all types of crazy stuff in order to bring this home into rentable conditions. And mind you, we didn't know, we were only supposed to go up there for a weekend, okay? We didn't know the extent of what extra would need to be done or corrected. So I had no intentions of being there for long, number one, and I had no intentions on spending that much money, number two. I spent over $6,000 that weekend on a job that I spent over $6,000 for somebody else to do on supplies. And so now I'm down over $13,000 for a con artist who ran off with my money, with my dignity. And all I can do at this point, I really want to sue her, but I don't know if I can. And if anyone here is a lawyer or knows any lawyers, please tell me if this is a case that can actually be tried. It's just so expensive to sue people that I don't want to have to go through the hassle, and I love my peace. But at this point, I feel like this lady needs to learn. This lady needs to be taught a lesson. And so I really want to sue her. But at this point, I'm just stressed because this situation has definitely put me in a financial bind that I was not technically in before, and it is stressing me the hell out because I have bills to pay. I have a child to feed. It's so hard to tell your kid no, but every time my daughter asks me for something outside of her necessities, now I have to tell her no. And it's like embarrassing because she grew up like not having to worry about if I can get her stuff or not, and now I'm having to tell her that, you know, I can't afford it right now because I'm in such a bind. And it's just annoying. It's really annoying and it's really stressful. I don't like it at all. I hope nobody ever has to go through this experience. I don't wish this on my worst enemy, which I don't have enemies, but this lady might be the first. Sorry, God, that wasn't funny. But yeah, if anyone has any advice on like how I can, at this point, I know I'm probably not gonna get the money back, but I just really want to sue her. I just really want her to learn that she can't play with people like that. And I know I probably shouldn't even worry about it because karma always comes back around to the people that it needs to come back around to. But damn, you just don't play with people like that. Because you mess with the wrong one and you're gonna find what's coming for you. And that's not a threat, that's a promise. Let me stop before I go to jail over this YouTube video. I'm gonna go ahead, which I should have baked before I even did all that. I usually bake before my contour, but I'm so frazzled right now that I don't even know what's going on in my life. I'm gonna go ahead and bake. Ooh, messy. Okay, on my forehead, I like to do a different color because I don't know, my forehead always comes out like super ashy every time I put that yellow powder on my forehead. So I like to go in with a darker baking powder, which is the Fenty Nutmeg color, and put that on my forehead instead of the other baking powder. Dab a little bit and then dab it on my forehead. Yes, it is a much darker color. That's how I like my forehead to look. So I'm gonna let that bake for a little bit. In the meantime, no, I'll take off my hair after I brush everything off. Oh, what I can do is my blush. While I bake, I usually like to do my blush just so that it blends out a little more seamlessly. I am using, this is probably super old, I don't know if anybody uses this, Supreme Seductress. I think this is from Target. Supreme Seductress, I don't know if they still sell this, but the color that I'm using to blush is called Swipe Right. Swipe Right? What does that mean? You don't like the person? Like on dating apps, if you swipe right, well, that means you do like the person. Okay, so I'm doing swipe right. And then I'm gonna smile a little bit. Cheese. And we're gonna make the cheeks a little rosy. Smile. I used to hate blush because I felt like it made me look like a clown. It kind of does, but it's cute. Now, I'm going to blend out all of the, you know, this stuff. This is pretty much almost the finished look, but I'm not liking how my forehead is looking, so I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of this chocolatey contour because my forehead is not, I'm looking like a potato. I need some color. I don't like looking like a potato. Who likes looking like a potato? Me! Looking kind of ashy. Alright. So now I'm just going to do some lip gloss, and I need some new Fenty lip gloss. I've been scraping and it's like you can't even get to what you really need in here. They need like a curved tip for this thing. Alright, we'll run with that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. Oh no, it's white. It's white, that's my biggest fear. It's white, it's white, it's white, it's white. Alright, when my hair gets all flaky and turns white, I cut all this off. Ooh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, it's white. Okay, hold on. So one way that I have learned to combat flakiness and whiteness is just adding oil to the areas that are flaky or white, and it should do the trick. Let's see, especially with edge control. So I'm gonna just add this to those areas. I just add it directly on there. Shoot, you're not about to try me. Jeez. At this point, moisturize my scalp. Now we're gonna need some more darkness. Let's do this.
I am pretty much doing Jennifer's hair from scratch. Forget everything else you watched.
I gave them a whole lesson.
You're not even
Not that bad.
Girl.
It was.
Girl, for today. How long do you want this to last?
You're right.
No, I know I'm right.
Okay.
One thing I know.
You think you got it, oh, you think you got it, but got it, just don't get it if there's nothing at all.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. So update. Krista could not manage to do the style.
Update.
She can't manage. That's how you say it.
Safa said Jennifer called me for last week. I said, Jennifer, I don't know how to do that part. That's the part I don't
And I
know how
told
to
you
do.
guys, she said she was gonna try, but I seen her do it on herself and it came out so good. So I don't know what she played in my hair.
I said to Jennifer, my mom, I went to my mom's house for this part. That's the part I went to phone a friend. So I don't know what to tell you.
All right, so I told her I can't walk out of here the same way I walked in. So she's gonna try a style that she actually knows, and y'all just stay tuned.
She actually knows.
Stay tuned for the results.
For my services.
I didn't want to show you guys the style, but I just wanted to show you guys the technique.
Check
know
out
what
her
she's
technique.
doing. Ooh, she said, yeah, this one I know. Look at this little tight.
Okay.
All right, that's it. Ooh, the switch up. It's giving Chun-Li. Book her, Chris Marie.
No, honey, I don't.
Only for me. Thank you very much. I love them. Talking about she don't do hair. Could have never done this myself.
Never. Make sure y'all go to my channel where I do show my hairstyles. And make sure you follow me on Instagram because, honey, I be doing quick and easy hairstyle tutorials like so. So you want to know how to do this, you gotta follow me, Chris
Marie.
Put it here, KRYS_Marie MARIE. You already know, baby.
Yes. Alright, I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for all of the support you guys have been showing me on my story time / get ready with me's. If you like this video and you want to see more story times, please go ahead and click the like button down below. Go ahead and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!